Well, first of all, Joe Exotic, thank you for being here and talking with us. I appreciate that. I know you have a busy schedule going right now.
I appreciate the opportunity to have my voice be heard.
Yes, that's exactly why you're here. And Madness, for those that may not uh, remember Joe Exotic or quite remember the details, you pretty much summed him up quite nicely, Madness.
Yeah, when I heard we were doing this, and Joe, good to have you here. But it kind of threw me back to that time we were all locked down, that COVID-19 era, that beginning where we were all just shut down. So I've kind of, thought maybe this guy's kind of like one of the faces of COVID, maybe one of the Mount Rushmore members of COVID. Have you ever been told that? You've ever been called that?
Not in those particular words, no. Everybody says that, and everybody says, thanks for getting us through COVID, blah 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 blah. I just need everybody to remember that, I appreciate that, and the thoughts and everything, but don't forget that I'm a real person struggling through this nightmare, and not just a fictional character on television. That this shit's really happening.
Yeah, I always wanted to know, Joe. There's a meme out there where you're captioned in that scene. I think it was episode 2, where you were like, "I'm never going to financially recover from this," which I believe was the attack on that one employee losing his arm. Just curious, did you ever actually financially recover from that, or where's the status of that?
Okay, well, first of all, and that question was brought to me the other day during an interview too. When Saf lost her arm at the zoo, yeah, it was a shock. I mean, uh, how I was going to pay that for somebody to replace an arm, not to mention the government coming down on me for protocols being broken and everything else. But you know what? Yeah, I did because I don't know how, but if Saf had insurance through the military or something else, but she took full responsibility of that and paid every dime of that. She didn't hold me, the park, or the animal at fault.
So right now you're in Santa Rosa County Jail. You're in jail right now, and I was told by whoever runs your Twitter account, that you're headed back to prison on Monday, tomorrow. What's the deal? What's the latest?
No, my court hearing is Tuesday here in Santa Rosa County in Pensacola. It's federal court for the guy that I'm suing for copyright and trademark infringement for my music. And then 9 o'clock in the morning Tuesday, there's a huge protest at the courthouse. Free Joe Exotic and stop solitary confinement. And they even painted the bridge downtown Pensacola. President Biden free Joe Exotic. So it's going to be a huge protest. And then I go back to Texas. But when, I don't know. I could sit here another couple weeks. I could leave the day after. It's just whenever the marshals decide to put me on diesel therapy and transfer me back.
Yeah, how are you treated there being Joe Exotic? Like, I just want to know, like, they know who you are, you know, your lifestyle and where you've been, and you're high profile for a minute there. So what's it like being Joe Exotic in prison?
I'm treated by the staff horribly because of who I am, especially federal prison. It's been rough. My first two years and 8 months was in solitary confinement only because of TV, Netflix. Okay, so yeah, it's been a rough road. As far as the inmates, no, dude, I've been treated with the utmost respect and get along with everyone.
Let's talk about, part of the reason why you're with us right now is joeexotictv.net is where you have 600 plus videos proving your innocence. Now, you've maintained your innocence this whole time.
I have, and the evidence is there now that I'm innocent.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is it what I want to ask you? Is this a real innocent, or is this like OJ innocent, where he's like,
No,
I'm innocent?
no. This is it. You know, I've admitted from day one that I shot 5 tigers to put them to sleep, and I'll never be ashamed of doing that because that was the most humane way to put them down. And the USDA, my protocols with them, and my inspector allowed me to do that. It's just uh, the agenda for the Big Cat Safety Act and for Carole Baskin and PETA, they needed to put me in prison for something. So they charged me with taking 5 endangered species without a permit. Like I should have filed for a permit before my vet and me could have put them down.
So, what are we going to see in those videos? Can you give us a little? I mean, 600 videos is a lot. I'm not asking you, obviously, to recap each video, but what are we going to give me some examples of what we're going to see that proves that you are indeed innocent?
Okay, well, on joeexoticofficial.com, on the evidence link, there's video depositions of James, Jeff, Lauren, and Alan all admitting to perjury, and they pretty much laid out the whole story of how this was all set up. And Alan even went further on his deposition and even took the film crew with Tiger King and Netflix Part Two, and my attorneys to the zoo and showed him where he hid a murder weapon where Jeff and him had actually planned to kill me if this all didn't work. Okay, that was pretty shocking to me that went ahead. But yeah, no, after they took my zoo and then Jeff opened up his own zoo, Carol turned on him, PETA turned on him, the USDA turned on him. They raided his zoo. They took all his stuff away. So they thought they were all going to be heroes, okay, and turn over their cell phones and their computers to my attorney, John Phillips, and out the government for knowing this was all bullshit. But when they deleted what they thought they needed to delete, they forgot to go back in the settings and delete the cache files and the storage. Okay, so my attorney recovered those 600 some recordings. Okay, and there's recordings there of the producers of Netflix paying them during my trial to keep the story going so Netflix could make this movie. There's God, there's recordings there that would just upset your stomach about Lauren and Jeff admitting to rape, Alan admitting that it was all set up, uh, and the pictures and the videos of the fake IDs that they were making, to sex traffic and bank fraud, and there's a bunch. Yeah, it's crazy what the government covered up in order to put me here just so you couldn't pet a baby tiger.
That I know you probably can't say it because of where you are right now, but I'll be able to. I'm able to say it because I'm not there. But that Carole Baskin, she's a real bitch.
Well, you know what? She's batshit crazy. Okay, and she did an interview the other day, and I did an interview without knowing. We both did interviews with the same news station out of Tampa, and we both said the same thing. Netflix exploited our feud to be more than it really was because she made shit tons of money convincing people I abused baby tigers by pulling them away from their mom and letting you pet them. I made shit tons of money on joeexotictv.com, convincing people she was batshit crazy because who else wears flowers around their head and kills her husband? So we both made money off each other, but it wasn't to the extent that we wanted to drive to Oklahoma and kill me or drive to Florida and kill her. We'd never even met each other until my trial.
Now, I'm assuming you have not spoken with her.
I have not.
Okay. So you'll be surprised to hear, Joe, that Madness is willing to give you his vote for president because people may not know that you are running for president, correct?
I am.
What made you decide to run as Democrat as opposed to an independent? Is it just because you think the independent has no chance and that's your only way in? And I got to admit, you got to be a better Joe than what we got.
Okay, all right. Here's how it actually started. I started out as a libertarian, okay, in this election, and those people are as batshit crazy as Carole Baskin is because they think everybody should be able to own rocket launchers, okay, and hand grenades, okay, and we just can't let society do that. We can let you carry a gun, okay, but we can't let you have fucking army tanks and rocket launchers. So then I changed. Then I changed to Democrat for the sole purpose of I wanted to debate President Biden. Okay, I wanted him to answer some questions. Okay, so we went through 8 months of that, and they figured out how to keep me off the ballot because each little state makes up their own rules, even though the Constitution says I don't have to be a registered voter to be on the ballot. They made up the rules that said I did. So that kept me off the ballot. So I actually am an unaffiliated candidate right now. I'm registered as an unaffiliated candidate, and I have access now. So yeah, feel free to write Joe Exotic in on your ballot because you can, and rather than not voting, write me in and have a stand and say, look, we're tired of the crooked politics and we're tired of the bullshit going on in this country. I have on joeexotic2024.com, my political website. I have a platform, and it's a good platform. I just did a big interview with iHeartRadio, and my border policy and my veteran policy and foreign war policy is excellent. It would take care of all of our problems.
Can you tell us a little about it?
Okay, well, all right, look, we're sending $100 billion every 3 or 4 months over to Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan, and we're just letting them just kill each other and destroy shit, okay? And then afterwards, we're going to go fix it all up. We're going to spend billions of dollars rebuilding everything, okay? All right, so we have the border, which is a big problem, okay? And when I ran in 2016, I went to Belize to figure out how a third world country operated and how America could take some lessons from them. Okay, the big lesson that I learned from them was when I got off the airplane, I had to pay $37 for not being a citizen. And then every 30 days I was there, I had to pay 50 more. Okay. All right. So we have all these wounded veterans here in America that nonprofits are taking care of because our government's too stupid to. All right. Like Tunnel for Towers and Wounded Warriors. They're doing the government's job. All right. So I went over to Mexico for 2 days and I asked everybody over there, I said, would you come to America and work and get a paycheck and pay taxes and not have to look over your shoulder if I gave you a non-citizen tax number and allowed you to do this while you become a citizen and pay $50 a month? And every one of them said, yeah, hell yeah, I'll pay $50 a month to be able to work and not have to worry about being deported while I'm there, okay? So why are we not taking 18 million immigrants at $50 a month and paying for our wounded warriors and our senior citizens in this country to be able to live? And instead of just, look, your family members, half the people listening, your family members lost their lives, their limbs, their mental health, everything to fight for freedom in this country. And an illegal immigrant should be able to pay $50 for that same freedom.
Now, I don't know if you know this, and I know we got to be quick here. I don't know if you know this, but Trump's in a lot of trouble right now, and they're saying that he may go to jail. We got 60 seconds left. We got a countdown clock. So if real quick, if Trump goes to prison, are you guys going to have a debate off both in prison? That could be the craziest thing this country's ever seen.
You know what? He's never going to go to prison. Okay, first of all, they're going to screw him out of this election. I promise you that. But that man will never spend a day in prison. But they didn't indict him with 91 felonies because they don't have a plan.
Listen, I totally agree. To view these 600 videos proving that Joe Exotic is innocent, the website is joeexotictv.net. His campaign website is joeexotic2024.com. Joe, thanks for coming on the Fort Show, and we'll talk to you, okay? Good luck.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
There
you have it.
Joe Exotic. A quick conversation from prison. Had to be fast.
It had to be fast. Had to be quick. But he sounds like he knows what he's talking about when it came to some of the problems that this country has.
Yeah, I reviewed some. I didn't get into it because we only had a short time, but I reviewed some of his policies. I could see eye to eye on a few of them. He's a little bit down the middle, more than most. Yeah. And I don't know what kind of chance he's got being incarcerated, but I mean, according to whoever you ask,
Slim.
I mean,
It's
they're all criminals anyways. So
It's going to be slim.
What are you gonna do?
It's going to be a slim chance.
It's a write-in.
Yeah,
He's a write-in.
definitely a write-in.
I'm gonna write him in. I think. Fuck it. I don't care about this bullshit anymore. I think I'm gonna write in Joe Exotic, and I mean that.
I might do it. Can we take pictures of this or no? Are we allowed to take pictures of our vote?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Right?
You can probably just snap one. I mean, what are they gonna do?
My vote.
Mad about it? It's my vote.
I think
It's
you
my
and I
vote.
right now should make a point that you and I are going to vote for Joe Exotic this election. Are you ready to commit?
Yeah, he was nice. I'll do that since we talked to him. He gave us the time of day. I'll vote for him.
All right. I'm committing. We're committing. We'll see.
Good.
Go ahead. What?
Oh, I said good.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
We're doing it. We're voting for Joe Exotic.
Vote Joe Exotic, the Tiger King, President 2024.
We don't even know who his running mate is, but fuck it. We're voting for him.
I mean, he's gay, so the liberals will love him, right?
The Libtards are going to love him.
I mean, right then and there, just vote for him.
We'll see you guys on Thursday.